Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, with me is Shail Patnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the day's trade. Well, the markets have a tendency to surprise you when you're least expecting it. A 352 points of a surge on the Nifty right now, 24,500 with us. It's a sharp 1.5% uptick on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank is soaring higher, 1.7% of an uptick for this one as well. 50,571 is the current level of the Nifty Bank, and it's higher by almost 844 odd points. The Sensex has zoomed above 1,000 points as well. All the sectors are up into the green, with the IT index sharply higher, 2.7% higher in trade right now, leading the momentum within the sectors. Realty, media, mid-cap, small caps and private banks also follow the suit, and a whole host of stocks within the Nifty and the broader markets that are also sharply higher, and many stocks within the broadest markets that have also hit a 20% circuit and are trading at all-time high levels as well. I think barring just about 3 stocks, which is from the pharma space, all of the stocks on the Nifty are up into the green, barring Divis, Dr. Reddy's and Sun Pharma. Good afternoon, Shail.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And Sakshi, we should hold nothing against Sun Pharma, Divis, and the third one you mentioned was another pharma stock, simply because for the last 15 days, 10 days at least, 10 session and 15 days, they've been the mainstay of the Nifty, trying to sort of help navigate this painful time. I'll request the PCR to fire the Nifty daily chart, and a lot of interesting things have happened. 1.4% higher on the Nifty. Forget 24,300, forget 24,400. We are now at 25,500. And what's the most exciting part, ladies and gentlemen, I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term chart, the daily chart. What you have is the intraday chart. So this is the best gain since July 26th, when the Nifty grew 1.7%, Sakshi. And most crucially important is the fact that Nifty will now fill the gap between August 2nd, which was a Friday, and August 5th, which was a Monday. This gap was due to the result of that yen carry trade that had happened. The index had shut shop 662 points lower, and it is the filling of this gap that is happening. What is also interesting is that 21 EMA, which I had mentioned in the morning, the index is most likely to close above that. And Sakshi, very interesting point, within Nifty futures, 25 futures have long build up, 16 futures have short covering. So put together, nearly 90% of the Nifty is moving up, and the stocks that are down are actually just showing mild signs of profit booking. Nothing to be worried about. The top boys are up. HDFC Bank contributing 35 points, ICICI Bank contributing 34 points, and it's the IT index 1100 points higher at 40,790, about 1,000 points below its all-time high. And all 16 stocks in F&O, all 10 stocks in the Nifty index, led by TCS, LTIMindtree, Wipro, all of them are in the gains for 2 reasons: a very strong close on the Nasdaq on the Wall Street, and a local flavor, buyback. Remember, you heard this first at 8:35 in the morning, that the buybacks will come in, and all IT stocks have announced dates for board meetings, at least the major ones, which will be talking about this. Amongst highs, Ola Electric 20% higher, almost 4,300 crores worth of transactions have been done. CDSL, another breakout stock that we had caught for you somewhere like 2,600, 8% higher, 1,300 crores worth of transactions done. RVNL, TCS, Infosys, Reliance. Sakshi, in fact, what's most interesting is that if you see the top 25 stocks in top 20 stocks in the NSE 500 list ranked by volume, all 20 of them are in green. Yours.
Now welcome our guest on board. We now have Mr. Nilesh Jain, Head and Vice President Technical and Derivatives Research at Centrum Broking. Warm welcome to you, Nilesh, and thank you so much for taking the time out. The Nifty is again cheering higher and 350 points up in trade, 24,500 in front of our screens. Your sense of what is fueling this momentum when we were least expecting it?
Well, Sakshi, I think it's just a sectoral rotation what we are witnessing, and good part is that today the Nifty index has given 8 days of consecutive consolidation breakout. Now today, once again, Nifty is penetrating in the gap area that we saw on 5th of August, and also 21 DMA, as Shalin sir rightly mentioned, which is also placed at 24,500. So most probably, most likely that Nifty is likely to close above this particular mark. That's the major resistance. And for the coming week, the target price that we are keeping an eye on could be 24,600 to 24,800. So these are the levels that we are expecting on the in the coming week. So at current level, it's very much buy for the Nifty as well as for the Bank Nifty. But for the Nifty, the support that is now placed at 24,400, and upside, as mentioned, is open up for 24,600 to 24,800. On the other hand, Bank Nifty, we have a similar view. We have seen a lot of underperformance in the Bank Nifty. Now for today, it has given a strong reversal. Given this kind of strong reversal, I think it is heading towards 51,000 to 51,500 levels for the coming week. And the volatility index in the weeks for the second straight session, it has declined more than 6% now. And it is very much in the comfort zone for the bulls. So given this kind of setup, where the Nifty is taking out 24,500 level, I think there will be another leg on the upside on the back of short covering. So yes, buy and decline should be the approach.
Okay. Any key stocks, Nilesh, that you'd like to highlight?
Right, Sakshi. So, looking at the overall setup, I think it is better to stick to the quality names and index heavyweight counters from the banking space specifically. So ICICI Bank, this particular stock is looking very strong. After today's strong reversal, the stock has taken off its 50-day moving average, and also we are witnessing good amount of short covering in this particular counter. So ICICI Bank can be bought at current level, and upside may extend towards 1210 to 1230. So these are the two immediate targets for ICICI Bank on the upside. Stop loss can be placed below 1172. So that's one stock that we are bullish on within the private sector banking space. Apart from that, other stock that is from cement space, that is Ambuja Cement. This particular stock is also witnessing a strong reversal today, and we can expect a follow-up move towards 655 to 660. Stop loss can be placed below 628.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's just also look at stocks that we normally don't bring into our conversation but are doing very well in trade today. I'll request the PCR to fire Uflex Industries, 636 for you, 12.3% higher. There is a huge spurt in volume as far as daily trades are concerned. You have Kitex Limited. This is doing remarkably well, 12.8% higher at almost 323. Nice move coming into Gravita India. This is a company that extracts lead from used car batteries. For the moment, 15.8% higher. Needless to say, 2252 is a fresh record high. And of course, who can forget Ola Electric? Now 4,300 crores worth of transactions have happened. This is how the broader markets are structured on the green side. New highs, well, Trent a percent higher, 6,500. MCX 6% higher, 46.49, and Suprajit Engineering 626.50, 16% higher. I'd also like to mark another stock, CDSL, and this is coming to you, Nilesh bhai. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you, sir. Before the bonus, the rally starts. What is the counter telling you at an 8% uptick?
Well, Shalin sir, very good afternoon to you. The stock has been in an uptrend since a long time and constantly making a new record high. Looking at the overall setup, although it's up 9% today, but the setup looks strong and it looks like it is heading towards 3000. That's the next milestone that is likely to be tested from here, but not advisable to chase this particular counter at 9% uptick. So better wait for some meaningful decline to get into this particular stock. The immediate support that is placed at 2650, so that should be the stop loss for the long position. And the ideal strategy should be to buy in a staggered manner. The stock still has a potential to test 3000, or maybe it may cross that particular level as well. So yes, looks positive. If somebody is already holding the long position, can stay put by keeping a trail stop loss.
Okay, got it. Within the IT pack, there are many stocks that are flying away, especially in the mid-cap IT space. Nilesh, Birla Soft, Emphasis, L&T Technology Services, Persistent. Where are you finding charts most convincing within the mid-cap IT space now?
So Sakshi, mid-cap IT is also looking strong along with the large cap IT, where we have already seen a good amount of momentum in last few trading sessions. So within mid-cap IT space, as the name that you have mentioned, Emphasis, which is already up close to 7%, that stock still looks strong for 3000 plus kind of level. But another stock that is on my radar is Coforge. So Coforge, after almost a consolidation of a previous 6 to 8 consecutive session, it has given a good range breakout. And the good part is that we are witnessing a long buildup of more than 2% OI fresh addition can be seen in this particular stock. So at current level, it can be bought keeping a stop loss of 5970, and upside seems to be open up for 6200 to 6350. So Coforge is one stock within mid-cap IT space that is looking positive. And just want to highlight one particular stock from large cap names as well, that is HCL Technology. So this particular stock has given a good breakout, and this kind of a range breakout what we are witnessing in this particular stock. And after almost witnessing a consolidation from past 6 months, it has given a good breakout. So upside seems to be open for 1800 to 2000, and the stop loss can be placed somewhere around 1635.
Okay, so that's as far as the mid-cap IT names are concerned. Even within the Nifty, there are several stocks that are moving sharply higher. Wipro, Tech Mahindra, LTIMindtree, TCS, Infosys, they're all up and about. But let me ask you on Wipro particularly. The stock had been consolidating for a fairly long time. Do you think it's getting its mojo back with this momentum, or is it going to be only momentary? 3.8% higher at 514.
So Sakshi, it is still a laggard within the IT pack. The good part is that the stock has defended its 200 exponential moving average that is placed somewhere around 480 levels. And today, after a long time, it has given a breakout above its 50-day moving average. So that is placed at 509. So it looks like there will be a momentum which may take this particular counter towards 525 to 535. So there is a very big gap area that can be seen in the range of 550 to 530. So that is likely to be get filled going forward. So structure looks strong for a pullback to continue. Stop loss can be placed below 500, and one can stay put.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, apart from IT, what else is moving? I think every single IT company that I can think of is at least 2% higher in terms of good gains. Let's get our attention, Nilesh, on Policy Bazaar. Again, remember this stock was highlighted repeatedly post earnings, and again a 7% uptick is what you see. Needless to say, 1690 is a record high. Is this headed much higher from current levels, Nilesh bhai?
So Celine sir, if you look at the overall broader structure for this particular stock, it got listed in the year 2021 November month, and for the first time after those years of consolidation, it gave a breakout in the month of June 2024. So it looks like it has formed a big rounding bottom formation on the weekly time frame chart can be clearly seen, and upside target for this particular pattern comes somewhere around 2000 plus. So it still has some potential left, and it can be bought on declines, but one should keep a strict stop loss below 1560. So that's the short-term breakout zone. And upside, as mentioned, the stock still has a potential to test 2000 as a positional target, but short-term target comes somewhere around 1780 to 1850.
Okay, got it. Well, apart from this, let me also bring up some other interesting names from the PSU pack now. The index is also up by 1.6%. And Nilesh, I wanted your attention on LIC. That's 3.3% higher in trade, 1061 odd. The life insurance space stocks have also been rallying off late. How are you looking at LIC versus, and there's a sudden spike on the stock also as we speak right now, 3.3% higher right now. How are you looking at LIC?
LIC looks positive, but don't look at from a trading point of view. I think one should have a little positional view in this particular stock. The stock is constantly forming a high top and high bottom formation on the weekly chart, and this recent correction is giving an opportunity to get into this particular stock, keeping a price target of 1200 plus. That maybe for the time period of 4 to 6 months. But stock looks good at current level, giving the good risk and reward ratio in this particular stock. Keep a stop loss below 1000. 1000 is acting as a psychological support as well. The overall structure looks positive for a pullback to continue towards 1150 to 1200 from a short term point of view as well.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the insurance space is concerned. But the other space that we all want your attention, viewers, and also Nilesh, is the defense space as well. Now, there is an interesting report, in fact, of ICICI Securities, which believes that some of the stocks have actually run up much ahead of fundamentals. Asim, my colleague, is now with us to give us an understanding on Mazagon Dock. The stock has been dwindling in trade today, but there's a brokerage house report from ICICI Securities that actually believes there is a sharp downside that you could be seeing on Mazagon Dock. Asim, take it away. What are the new targets that they are looking at? Why do they believe Mazagon Dock is headed for a sharp downtick?
Thanks, Sakshi. So this Mazagon Dock, which is a defense firm, it has come out with its Q1 earnings on Wednesday after market hours. It reported a stellar set of earnings. Its net profit rose 121% on an year-on-year basis. So it rose to 696 crore against a profit of rupees 314 crore in the year-ago period. Revenue also rose to 2,357 crore against rupees 2,172.676 crore. In response, the stock has gained nearly 3% today. It was trading at around 5,143, and it's but after the Q1 earnings, there are some brokerage houses which have turned bearish on the stock. First one is ICICI Securities. They have given a target price of rupees 1165. This is a 77% downside from the previous close of rupees 4,999. The brokerage believes the stock is overvalued at the current market price. It also sees risks to ordering execution timelines. It also said the EBITDA margin could taper off to 12 to 15%, and it also believes that EPS is likely to be range bound at rupees 95 to rupees 120 per share from FY28 to 32 estimates. So another analyst, Jigar S. Patel from Anand Rathi Shares, said the support for the stock is at 4,850 and resistance it at rupees 5,155. He also said a decisive close above the rupees 5,155 level may trigger a further upside to rupees 5,300. Another brokerage, Nirmal Bang Institutional Equities, has also turned bearish on the stock after Q1 earnings. It has given a 11% downside target to the stock. They said Mazagon stock is overvalued, and citing the expensive valuations, they had maintained sell on the Mazagon stocks with the target price of rupees 4,468. Back to you, Sakshi.
Okay, thanks for that update, Asim. Let's go back to Nilesh and understand from him what his view is as far as the entire defense story is concerned, and especially on Mazagon Dock. The stock has been absolutely flat at 5,018, Nilesh, but these fresh concerns from brokerage houses, are these something that one should be wary of? What about those investors who've been holding on to the stock for far too long and sitting on profits?
Well, actually, we have already seen a good run up. The stock has already been a multi-bagger. And given this kind of run up, some amount of retracement that cannot be ruled out. But we are not expecting any top out kind of signals as of now on the chart. So ideally, if somebody is already holding onto the gains, then I would suggest to keep a trailing stop loss that is somewhere around 4600 should be the stop loss. If at all it takes out 4600 on the lower side, then we might see further downtick towards 4000 as well. But given this kind of run up, we might see some consolidation. But as of now, there are no topping out signals on the chart. So better stick to the long position by keeping a trailing stop loss. Apart from that, within this space, even if you look at the counters like HAL, where we have seen a similar kind of throwback from the high levels. So yes, as of now, it looks like a time-wise correction, which may extend further, but we don't see any major crack in the defense space on immediate basis.
Right. Sakshi, I think ICICI Securities is very, very desperate to get hold of large chunks of Mazgaon dock, and I'll tell you why. Mostly, this is the second time this report has come. Asim can confirm that the earlier price target was sub 1000, I think 985, and this time they have raised the price target to 1100. I'll just read this report again for you. I request if he's listening to us, maybe he can send it. Yeah, I have it. Just a moment, please. So essentially, it's one of those fear mongering kind of reports where you hope that at least some retail investors who have got into Mazgaon dock earlier. Okay, so the current target is 1165. The earlier target was 900. So this is the story actually, that ICICI Securities has raised its price target to 1165 from 900. Amongst NSC's 1800 stocks that are listed, Mazgaon dock is, I'll tell you, a very interesting data for you. Okay, Mazgaon dock is amongst the first 15 stocks over a period of 3 years that have given fantastic returns, and I am requesting the PCR to fire a long-term chart of Mazgaon dock for the last 5 years. So actually the stock has gone up only by 18 times. So this is what is going to happen. Possibly the stock will correct on a time basis. It might do nothing for the next 1 year or so, and these gains will be absorbed, and then you'll see fantastic numbers. ICICI Securities actually says that performance on the fundamental side is pretty good, but the stock seems overpriced. Should this fall to 1165, then we'll see. But it's an attempt by ICICI Securities to sort of inject a bit of fear in the minds of people who have spent less time in the market, to sort of surrender their stock to their clients. Sakshi.
Absolutely. So that's as far as the defense space is concerned. But let's talk about something sweet then. It's the sugar stocks that I wanted Nilesh your view on. The way the entire space has been buzzing in action. Are you also looking at the upcoming festive cheer and the sweetness that this sector has to offer? Should one be buying into this space and getting their portfolios filled with some stocks?
Right, Sakshi. So we are also slightly bullish on the sugar space. Within this space, one particular stock that we are very much bullish on, that's Balrampur Chini. Reason being, technically the stock now it has reached to its 2 years high of somewhere around 520. So that was the high that it has made in the year 2022 April month. So now it is likely to give a breakout from those levels, and the potential upside from here, it seems like it is heading towards 600 plus kind of levels. So ideally one should have a positional view in this particular stock, because given the kind of volatile nature of this particular sector, I think it is better to stay slightly from a longer term time frame. Keep a stop loss below 480 and use any opportunity, any dip as a buying opportunity. Upside seems to be open for 560, 580, and eventually it is likely to take out 600 mark as well.
Okay, got it. So that's as far as the sugar space is concerned and the top stocks right there. Within the broader markets, there's also one more stock that I wanted to highlight. I did touch base upon it right in the morning when I just talked about how the stock has been buzzing. Suprajit Engineering from the absolute broadest index, which is up 15% now. It shot up over 17% just a while ago, and it's probably the best intraday gains that Suprajit Engineering may be looking at. And this is on the back of the company's announcement of the buyback of shares, a 38% premium buyback announcement that has come in from the company. The company has decided to buy back its shares via the tender route at 750 rupees per share, and therefore you do see that sharp bounce coming in. Remember, in 2021 also the company had come out with a buyback offer, and right now about 15 lakh fully paid up shares having face value of 1 rupee each could be on the buyback radar right here, and 27th August has been fixed as the record date for the share as well. Nilesh, just like how even Shell was pointing out, of course the IT space is where the biggest buybacks will be coming in probably, but even these mid-cap names, broader market names that are coming out with buybacks, how would you look at some such stocks?
Well, actually, given this kind of a buybacks that we are witnessing in the broader market stock, I think it is not advisable to chase. Rather, one should better wait for some declines. So, Suprajit, to be stock specific within this particular stock, if you look at the structure today, we have seen huge volume of more than 74 lakh in this particular stock itself. So given this kind of a breakout with a 14% uptake, I think if somebody is already holding the long position can stay put, keeping trailing stop loss below 600. But for fresh investors, these are not the levels to get into, and better wait for some meaningful correction before buying purely looking at the buybacks, that kind of corporate event. So it is better to stay away for the time being, wait for some meaningful corrections.
Okay, Sakshi, I think we'll focus on Glenmark also. 5% higher, 1565. Remember the earnings came in over the holiday yesterday. They were up sevenfold to I think 340 crores if I remember. Yes. So first quarter profit rose to 340 crores from 37 crores a year ago. The stock had actually gone down 3% in early trade. A lot of people who had rallied into the counter booked profit. Now again at record high. This is 1566 to you, Nilesh bhai. What are the charts saying? Very huge volumes, 5.7 times higher, 48.6 lakhs. What are the charts of Glenmark telling you?
So Glenmark technically is looking very strong, and given the kind of run-up that we have seen from the levels of almost 700, 800. So in last 1 year, we have seen the counter has given a good, decent returns. So at current level, the stock is at all-time highs, and ideally one should wait for some correction to buy in this particular stock, and upside still open for 1700 plus. But ideal approach should be to buy in a staggered manner. Defensive have been in a focus in last few weeks now. So Nifty Pharma index as a whole looks strong. Apart from Glenmark Pharma, there is another stock that is also looking strong, that is Star. So Star, even if you look at this particular stock, has a similar structure to what we are witnessing in the Glenmark. And the structure still looks strong for Star for upside to continue towards 1500 plus. One can ideally keep a stop loss below 1250 and ride this momentum towards 1400 to 1500.
Okay, an important thing that I'd like to mention is the fact that Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, is now consolidating above 24,500. Now, if this sort of continues for maybe another 10-12 minutes, then the last 15 minutes will be equally interesting, if not more, than the remaining part of the day. Because then all those people who had shorted the market will now start to cover shorts. We don't know what is going to happen on the Wall Street over the next 5-6 hours. In any case, Wall Street closed with very smart gains, so that momentum is likely to continue, and ahead of the weekend there'll be a problem for all short sellers. So exciting times ahead, and Sakshi, everything is back. REC, PFC 2.5-3% higher. BEL is making a comeback after I don't know how many days. Let me just point out 303 for you, and this is up 3%, so that's basically a 10 rupee rise. And if you look at the daily chart of BEL, let us see for after how many days has 300 come back. Okay, this is a fairly detailed chart. Nilesh bhai, your view on BEL?
BEL, the structure, if you look at on the daily time frame chart, it looks like it has formed a double bottom at near about 280, 285 kind of levels. And looking at today's move with a decent volume and with a buy crossover on MACD RSI, so I think there will be a follow-up move to which may take BEL towards 308, 315. So these are the immediate levels, immediate target that one can keep. Stop loss should be placed somewhere around 293, and the structure looks positive, could be a BTSC trade for BL.
Okay, got it. Apart from this, there's one stock that I wanted to draw your attention to. Nilesh, we had talked about it in the morning also, MCX, a sharp rally here which has unfolded. How would you really look at this exchange stock? Of course, we've discussed the brokerage houses stocks like CDSL, capital markets related stocks also that have been buzzing. But what about this exchange stock? Commodities 6.06% higher.
Overall setup looks strong for MCX as well, given the kind of run-up that we have seen in BSE, CDSL. I think MCX will also witness a similar kind of a run-up. So from current level, we can expect a 5,000 kind of level in this particular stock from short to medium term point of view. And the support for this particular stock is placed somewhere around 4,300. So it still has a support slightly at a deeper. So at current level, the stock is already up 6%. So the ideal strategy should be to buy on dips, and the position target comes around 5,000 plus.
Okay, got it. Let's also welcome Prashant Tapsi, who's joining in right now, research analyst at Mehta Equities. Warm welcome to you, Prashant. Good to have you with us. Your sense on where are you keeping your focus in this bounce back in the markets? Is it convincing enough for you?
I think yes, I am totally convinced with two options. One was yesterday's Modi ji's speech. I think he's back in action after the election results. He started giving long-term outlook for Indian markets, Indian economy again. So that dialogue keeps the market very much in positive zone. Second, again, globally markets are supportive. There are chances of early or September interest rate cuts. So IT sector is again back in action. So overall, a good end for a Friday markets with 300-400 points up in the market. And then technically one thing, we were waiting for 24,400 plus closing from many days, and we are seeing it today. So all in all, a good market end for this Friday.
Prashantji, you are the only one in the morning who has, since the morning, who has said that this rally is because of Modi ji. We were thinking, this is because of a very strong close on Wall Street. A lot of stocks have done fantastically well. Nobody caught this trend that Modi ji gave a long-term target for the market. Therefore, we reversed from a low of 24,120 to now above 24,500. Be that as it may, अपने को तो गेन से मतलब है. अब उसके पीछे क्या कारण है वो बात की बात है. अब बताइए दो बढ़िया स्टॉक जो आपको लगता है तेजी में आउट परफॉर्म करेंगे.
I think there are two stocks. One is from Tata Group, that is Tata Motors. I think 1090 के आसपास एक अच्छा लेवल लग रहा है, and I think going forward lot of updates and sales growth के numbers बहुत strong आने वाले हैं, and I think 1140 can be a target for technically on Tata Motors. Second again HDFC Bank, the big B of this bank. MSCI index का जो update आने वाला है और आ चुका है already with respect to huge volume being created in HDFC Bank, and I think 1700 can be a near-term target at least in the month of August.
Okay, got it. Well, it's HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank that are contributing most to the gains in the Nifty. We are now 386 points higher in trade on the Nifty at 24,530, and these are the two banking stocks that are contributing the most. Nilesh, your sense, HDFC versus ICICI Bank, where would you place your bets?
Buy on ICICI Bank. So that is looking more strong compared to the HDFC Bank. And today, interestingly, Bank Nifty is in fact witnessing a pullback in line with the Nifty index. Given this kind of close, I won't be surprised if we see a big gap up opening in the Nifty and Bank Nifty on Monday. And specifically, we are very much bullish on Bank Nifty given the kind of reversal that we have seen in the index with counters like HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, and ICICI Bank. So yes, Bank Nifty looks strong, more stronger than the Nifty index, and the stock that is likely to lead the rally could be ICICI Bank, followed by Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank.
Okay, got it. And within the PSU banks, Prashant, are you looking at anything as well? Is that space also looking interesting, even though it's 1% higher in trade? Anything that looks promising to you within the PSU banking story too? Canara Bank is up by 1.8%, Central Bank, UCO, Bank of Baroda, Indian Overseas, they're all upwards of 1.5% that we can see today.
In the PSU sector, I think Bank of Baroda looks good for me technically. Fundamentally, things are okay on that. But technically, I think the stock can go at least 5-10 rupees momentum, at least from these levels. So, 250, 255 can be a target for me in the Bank of Baroda stock.
All right, thanks. Nilesh, we'll thank you on that note for being with us on this very special edition. Thank you so much for sparing your time. Yes, Shell, yours.
A couple of more data points. Yeah, a couple of more data points on Bank Nifty, Sakshi. HDFC Bank has contributed 277 points to Bank Nifty's total of 800. Another 275 points have come in from Axis Bank. This is it has a 25% weightage in the Bank Nifty. So these two put together are almost more than 50-60% of Bank Nifty. Within IT, which needs to be checked, this is an interesting data that I want to give you on TCS. Remember, this is the first stock that we had marked on business today. So TCS has contributed 335 points to Bank Nifty's total of now 1143 points. Remember, when we opened the market at 230, this was up just 900 or so. So the rally is gathering steam. Infosys has contributed 357 points, HCL Tech 125 and TechM 100. So this is the kind of rally that we are seeing, and there are 5 Nifty IT stocks that are a part of the Nifty. So Nifty in any case is getting a very strong kick up. So banks are clicking, Nifty IT is clicking, and of course you have a smattering of gains across the board within the Nifty, mainly on cement counters as well. All good for Friday. Let's hope Monday we take out 25,700. But for the moment, as I had mentioned, that the last 15 minutes will be much better, because now all those shorts that were there between 24,400, 24,500, 24,350 on the Nifty will get killed, and they again will spark a rally. Prashantji, what looks good to you?
Again, I think in the power sector, Tata Power again looks good at these levels. 412. Technically, it was almost near to its oversold zone, and it is covering very faster. And I think a very conservative investor or a trader can have a bet on this for at least 440 and 450 levels for next 1 week.
Okay, the rally is gathering steam on the Nifty, 400 points higher in trade now, 24,546 on your screens right now, and this Sharp momentum is being contributed by the IT index, that's now up by almost 3% in trade. You have the realty index that's up by 2.5%, media stocks up by over 2%, autos up by 2%, mid and the small caps also nearly 2% higher in trade. Nifty next 50 stocks are up by 1.8%. A sharp rally across the board. The India VIX levels are now down by 7 odd percent at 14.3 odd levels currently. That's the kind of momentum that you are seeing on the markets right now. Let's also look at the sharp movers that are coming in from the Nifty next 50. DLF up almost 6%, Power Finance Corporation 4% higher, Adani Power 3.5% higher, BEL up 3.3%, Bosch, Ambuja Cements, LIC, ICICI Lombard, India Info Edge, Geo Financial Services also. These are some of the stocks that are buzzing very sharply in trade today. Sona BLW Precision is up by over 5%, Borosil up by 3.5% as well. 361 WAM, another one that's been moving over 4%. Zensar Technologies is also up by almost 8%. That's the kind of broad rally that you are actually witnessing in the markets on the Nifty. Now yes, it's just the same three stocks. In fact, SBI Life, Divis Laboratories and Dr. Reddy's that are down in trade. Rest of the stocks, they're all up and about. Even when we look at the PSU index, that's gathered steam, 1.9% higher in trade right now. FNO movers are Piramal Enterprises now gathering sharp momentum, 7% higher. Let's get your view here. Piramal Enterprises for you, Prashantji. 7.4% uptick in the cash space and in the FNO space as well, 947.6. What would you say here?
This PEL, right?
PEL.
Yes, technically it was a great comeback after 7-8 days of continuous negative rally. I think the rally will continue up to 1,000 rupees at least. If it crosses and closes above 1,000 rupees, the stock can go up to 1050 technically for next 1 week.
Okay, got that. So that's the momentum that's coming in on Piramal Enterprises. Yes, the IT stocks are sharply higher. Now Wipro is up by 4.4%, TechMindra up 4%. You have M&M that's gathered further steam, 3.5% after that Thar launch. Grasim, Tata Motors, Shriram Finance are the top movers on the Nifty right now. IT pack for you, Prashantji, Wipro, Tech Mahindra or TCS, Infosys, where are you really putting your focus among the Nifty IT stocks?
I would like to bet one stock, which is Wipro, one of the best stock and slow mover, obviously, yes. And I think technically the target can be 550 levels in very short term and with a stop loss of at least 499, very smaller one. Second, in the mid-cap space, I like B-Soft, that is Birla Soft, looking good at these levels again with 602 at current price. And we target with a stop loss of around 580 and a target of around 650.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, 3:14 p.m. मोदी जी का जादू आपको दिखता हुआ दिख रहा है बाजार पर. This is Prashant's view into the market. Let's look at stocks that have hit record highs. From the space of the brokerages, the asset management companies and exchanges. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CDSL. Record high, 8.5% higher. Remember, the 1:1 bonus date is fairly close, and this is the first or the second day of move. Typically, these stocks get stretched. NAM India, this is an AMC, 7.5% higher, 686. MCX, 6% higher, 4638. Apart from that, record highs are on Glaxo India from the pharma space, Glenmark that we've already discussed. In the IT sector, KNS Technologies is 4.5% higher at a fresh peak, 5092. You have Eris Life Sciences and Fortis Hospitals also along with JB Chemicals and Pharma doing a great job at a fresh high. This is how the momentum is, and I dare say, let me also mark circuits today. It is always fun to look at stocks that are at 20% and more. Uflex, when I had previously marked this counter, this was up 8%, now up 20, 679.35. This is the change in the flexi packaging cycle. Till about 2-3 years ago, this one was trading at 440, 350, and the management used to come to us saying that everything is fine but the cycle has to turn, and it has. Newly listed comes Pharmaceuticals 10% higher, 1036. Suven Pharma 10% higher at 143, and of course you have some other names that I can take with some little bit of hesitancy. Okay, let's avoid these. Okay, TARC, this is a Delhi based real estate company, at 222.88 is 5% higher. So good going for the market. And another thing that's worked very well is the last half an hour, last 20 minutes of trade, where the shorts will be taken to the cleaners. Sakshi.
Okay, got it. So those were some interesting circuits right there, and of course Ola Electric is also at another 20% circuit. That's also another one interesting counter to look at, but some more stocks that we can pull out from the mid-cap basket now for Prashant to give us some kind of an update there. Okay, Prashant, for you, PB Fintech is up by 7.4%. You have Aditya Birla Capital Return 6.4% higher. Patanjali Foods is up 4%. There is Suzlon is up 4%. You have Paytm that's up 5% as well. Then you have stocks like interesting ones that are Polycab is up by 4% as well. Those are the kind of stocks. Anything in the internet based stocks that you've got your attention on to, Prashant, off late?
Not anything in the stock, but yes, the stock which you mentioned right now, I like Suzlon at these levels also again. I think the stock has consolidated in last 2-3 days, and near target would be around 100, and I think any fresh buyers can also have a buy level at these levels.
Okay, got it. So Suzlon is where you're keeping a keen eye out on right now. Let's also look at some other interesting names that we can look at this point in time. Let's get you to talk about the auto space clearly. That's been in the thickest of action since morning, of course led by M&M, that's now up 3.5% with that Thar launch that's come in. But Ashok Leyland is also up by over 4%. Tata Motors is up by 3.5%. You also have battery stocks like Exide that are buzzing, tire stocks like Balkrishna that are also buzzing, and two-wheeler stocks both Bajaj Auto, Hero Moto, they're also up and about. How would you look at this entire auto basket right now? Where do you think more profits can be made in the interim?
I think yes, we are almost entering into a festival season for next 2-3 months. So auto stocks would be highly focused, auto sectors would be highly focused. In this sector, I think Ola would be again a stock one should look at now, having a good position, but not at these levels at 20% circuit, but any dip would be a buying opportunity for Ola. In the four-wheeler, again, Tata Motors and Tata M&M would be the two stocks which I am focusing on. M&M because of the new Thar launch. Technically, I think the 3000 can be a target for M&M. In Tata Motors, again, 1150 can be a stock target for very near term. So I think the upcoming festival season will keep this sector in focus and very much boosted.
Right. What will move on Monday? It's the metals pack, ladies and gentlemen, which will give you a very, very positive surprise for Monday. Remember, this is one index that has really, really underperformed. I'll give you some fantastic data on the metals index. If you look at the 1 week performance on the Nifty metals index, it's the worst performer, down about 1 second. On a monthly basis, in the last 22 sessions, the Nifty metals index is down 7.5%, and of course the Nifty PSU banking index is down 7.8%. Now this underperformance will be bought into. What looks good on the metal side? Well, let's look at rankings, and I'll give you an interesting take on what will move on Monday. Okay, so far neutral. Let's look at the weekly change. Hindalco looks very good. Hindustan Copper looks very good. What catches your attention, Prashantji, on the metal side as far as F&O is concerned, anything that looks good on the charts which might show a sharp turnaround?
I think I'm still continuing to hold my negative view on metals. So even next week, I think there will be a lot of pressure seen in that. Jindal Steel is a stock one can only look at on a technical basis with a target of 980, 970 levels. So one stock which is Jindal Steel, and a non-steel product company which is PT Engineering, which had given its results last week. I think that stock is doing good, and it is a base of steel. I think that stock can do better at these levels. I think I am a buy on that.
Okay, so this is what you need to look at, as also Hindustan Zinc. Today the stock has corrected mainly because the OFS for institutional investors is open for subscription. Remember, about 7,600 crores worth of money is being raised by Vedant, the parent of Hindustan Zinc, and on Monday you will see the retail subscription being coming to open. The price is set at, I think, 486 or 482 rupees per share, and therefore you see this downtick today. But keep an eye out on this one. The liquidity on Hindustan Zinc is very low. With this OFS in place, newer investors will come into the market and of course do a fantastic job in the long term. Sakshi.
ओके गॉट इट चलिए प्रशांत जी, इट्स 322, तो BTST कुछ ट्रेड्स हैं अगर आपके पास तो बता दीजिए.
I have two BTST. One is again HDFC Bank and PT Engineering. Both stocks and targets I already mentioned. In PT Engineering, I think the target would be near to 1400 for BTST, and in HDFC, I think the target can be anywhere between 1650 and 1670.
Okay, got it. So we'll keep an eye out on these BTST trades as well. And now let's focus on some more stocks which we can ask of you. स्मॉल कैप स्टॉक्स में भी कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग स्टॉक्स हैं जो कि आज तेज़ी दिखा रहे हैं. CDSL तो हमने बात की जहाँ पर आज 9% तक की तेज़ी है. निपॉन लाइफ एसेट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी इज ऑल्सो अप बाय 8%. Then of course MCX we all discussed, that's another one that's been moving up. IEX is also 5% higher in trade. On IEX, would you have a view, Prashant?
I think yes, I'm still positive on this stock with a target of 200 from these levels. The way how power as a sector and the limited power supply in all the country, I think there will be a lot of trading activities done in the exchange, and the exchange month on month business update says almost 15-20% growth in terms of their business update month on month. I think 200 can be a level to watch out for, and the upside the target would be 210.
So that's the view that's coming in on IEX as well. Let's look at some more stocks within this space that are buzzing away. Jyoti Labs is up by 4%. RR Kabel is up 3.5%. After a long haul, this stock has come back into some action. Then Global Health is also up by 5.5%. You have First Source Solutions that's up and about, I think, about 6% ये Midcap IT का ही stock है. Midcap IT में First Source Solutions कैसा लग रहा है, या फिर कुछ और भी stock है आपके radar पर?
I think Bsoft was a stock in the mid-cap IT space. I think the stock is really good at these levels with a very limited downside of 580 and a upside target of 650. So that should be a stock one should look at in mid-cap IT.
Got it.
3:25 p.m. ladies and gentlemen. Sakshi, let's just start wrapping up the market. I'm very, very keen to look at what was the previous weekly close. That should give you an idea as to what the market is thinking for the moment. Okay, so the previous week we closed at 24,367. And let's presume 24,500. So ballpark, it's a green close. So 2 weeks of selling and profit booking. Let us hope that from Monday onwards the momentum improves. What did we test? We tested 23,893. This was one of the lows that we did test in day before the previous week, and from then on 23,893 to 24,500. So that's easily a 600 point uptick in this week. and out of this 600 point uptick, ladies and gentlemen, 400 came today. So this is how unpredictable or volatile the markets have been. Sakshi, we haven't marked India VIX even once. India VIX is down 6.6% at 14.11. So please keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. And the gap between August 2nd and August 5th on the Nifty is partially filled to the extent of 50%. This is a very, very big plus for Nifty bulls. And of course, let's look at the final picture on the Nifty as far as volume is concerned. HDFC Bank 1.5% higher, 2235 crores worth of transactions that have happened. IT has been the outperformer for the day and has saved all the blushes for the Nifty, led by TCS, a very strong show. In fact, it's actually interesting, the three top volume buzzers on the Nifty are Wipro 2.3 times higher, TCS 1.6% higher, 6 times higher, and TechM 1.5 times higher. So TCS, Wipro and TechM, apart from the other 14 stocks in the F&O space, have done fantastically well. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, they will break record highs, especially TCS, in the next week because of buybacks. 5 or 6 IT companies which are cash rich, debt free, have informed the exchanges that their board will be considering the date for buyback. It has to be before October 1st because that is when buyback profits will be taxed by the finance ministry. It was so simple. Sakshi.
Okay, got that. 400 points higher. It couldn't have been a more fantastic Friday as an end to this extremely volatile as well as an truncated week that we've actually seen. 24,544 back above, back with a bank, but more importantly, it's going to be, whether it's going to be sustainable or not is something that Prashant can help us understand. Prashant, how does one prepare for the next week?
I think technically the levels will be sustained, and 24,450 would be the expected close, but it is a closing above that. I think next week we'll see again at near to 24,700 levels, which would be the trigger. And I think this trigger will come back only because of the short covering, which Sir said in the early session. So there will be 200, 300 points coverage very soon in the coming week, and we can touch 24,700. And I think by the end of this August, we will be touching 25,000 again.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Prashant, for being with us on this very special edition and sharing such wonderful thoughts, ideas, stocks and strategies for all our viewers, and pointing that out to us that one of the key reasons could have been the enthusiasm that's brought back by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his Independence Day speech by looking at the long term. 24,542 right now on the Nifty, 1.6% higher, 400 point of an uptick. For sure, this has ensured that we close the week in a positive zone for the Nifty, despite having at least 3 to 4 sessions that have been rather muted and lackluster. Nifty Bank also 1.6% higher, closes at 50,527. That's where it has frozen. 800 points higher in trade. All the sectors, end the Friday in the green, with the 2.8% uptick on the Nifty IT. That's the top performing sectoral index. Realty follows, media, auto and the broader markets. That's the kind of momentum that we've seen. Top mover on the Nifty for the day, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, Grasim, M&M, Tata Motors, Ultratech Cement. Cement makers also just inched back towards the end of the session, with Grasim and Ultratech both inching higher in trade. So those are the stocks that we should be tracking next week as well. Barring just about 3 stocks, rest all of the stocks have ended into the positive zone as far as the Nifty is concerned. The top losers, only 3. Divi's Laboratories, SBI Life, Dr. Reddy's. PSU index up almost 2% higher in trade. A strong surge on PFC, 4% higher. BEL, 3.3% higher. Oil India, LIC, NMDC, REC, Concord. These are the stocks that made a sharp comeback as well. F&O movers, Piramal Enterprises, Emphasis, L&T Technologies, Birla Soft. You also have MCX as the top performers on the F&O space. On the downside, you have stocks like Max Financial, Ipca Laboratories, Alchem Laboratories, Granules India, Oro Pharma. So some profit being taken off from the outperformers like the pharma space. We'll wrap it up at that, viewers. Thank you so much for being with us on this very special edition on Market Today. Thanks from both Shell and me. We'll wind it up at that, 396 points higher, looking good. We'll leave you at that. Hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead, and we will see you back on Monday morning.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi promises a developed India by 2047 and aims to make India the third largest economy in his third term. The third edition of Adani Business Today, India at 100, charts the course.
This is clearly India's golden moment.
A future-ready India, decoding the mega trends of Mission 2047. The biggest names in business, the top policy makers. Discuss what it will take to fulfill the Viksit Bharat